Okay, so time travel, complete fantasy or the craziest thing scientists just discovered? Picture this. Scientists literally caught tiny bits of light sneaking out the back door of a tunnel while they were still walking through the front door. It's like watching someone leave Starbucks with their coffee while they're still standing in line to order. Your brain is probably screaming, "That's impossible." But here's the plot twist that'll melt your mind. This totally impossible thing isn't breaking the universe. It's about to give us technology that makes today's iPhone look like a brick. So grab your coffee, because we're diving into whether time travel is just movie magic or the secret sauce for computers that could literally change everything about how we live. All right, let's be brutally honest here. Time travel sounds awesome in theory, but in practice, it would absolutely wreck everything faster than a drunk driver in a china shop. Time has one job, and that's keeping things moving forward in the right order. Past stays past, future stays future, and your embarrassing high school yearbook photos stay buried where they belong. Think of time like the world's most hardcore bouncer. Let's call him Big Mike Timeline. This guy has been working the door of reality for 13.8 billion years straight. No sick days, no vacation, no bathroom breaks. His only rule: nobody goes backwards, ever. Forward only. No exceptions. But then scientists show up like those people who think they can sweet-talk their way past the bouncer with expired IDs. They're like, "Hey, Big Mike, what if we just send some tiny light particles backwards for like a second? Just for science, bro." And Big Mike Timeline is standing there like, "Are you insane? Do you want the entire universe to have a complete mental breakdown?" Because here's what keeps physicists awake at night. Time travel creates problems that make your worst relationship drama look like a peaceful meditation session. The grandfather paradox. You go back in time, accidentally prevent your own birth, and boom! Reality crashes harder than your computer trying to run 20 Chrome tabs while streaming Netflix. The universe literally shows you the blue screen of death. Or think about cause and effect. The basic rule that things happen in order. You drop your phone, then it hits the ground. Then you say bad words. Time travel takes this simple rule and throws it out the window like last week's leftovers. Suddenly, your phone is hitting the ground before you drop it. Effects happening before causes. Results showing up before anyone does anything to create them. Einstein, you know, the wild-haired genius who figured out that space and time are connected like peanut butter and jelly, looked at time travel math and basically said, "Yeah, no, hard pass. I'm putting a restraining order on this entire concept." The guy who discovered relativity literally put up a giant "No time travelers" sign on the whole universe. And the energy requirements? To actually bend space and time enough for real time travel, you'd need more power than the sun produces in a year. It's like trying to charge your phone by plugging it into every nuclear power plant on Earth at the same time. Completely ridiculous overkill that would probably vaporize half the solar system just to send you back 5 minutes. Time moves forward for one very simple reason. Any other direction would turn reality into the universe's worst disaster movie, where the disaster is existence itself, forgetting how to make sense. But hold on to your sanity, because what just happened in a basement lab in Toronto is about to make your brain do backflips while questioning everything you thought you knew about reality. And honestly, thank God the universe has that strict no time travel policy, because every single movie or TV show that tries to make it work just creates absolute mayhem faster than Black Friday shoppers fighting over the last TV. Look at Back to the Future. Poor Marty McFly goes back in time and immediately starts deleting himself from existence like he's accidentally hitting delete on his own life files. The family photo starts fading, his hand becomes see-through, and he spends the entire movie having the world's most stressful existential crisis. The DeLorean isn't a time machine. It's an anxiety attack with wheels that happens to travel through time. Or the Terminator movies. Send one robot back in time and suddenly you've got an endless war happening across multiple timelines. It's like the worst video game ever, where every level you complete creates 17 new impossible levels. John Connor sends his dad back to hook up with his mom, creating a time loop so twisted that even the killer robots are confused about who they're supposed to be terminating. Even the smartest scientists who try to create safe time travel end up hitting walls harder than someone walking face first into a sliding glass door. Stephen Hawking, brilliant guy, wheelchair, knew everything about black holes, came up with something called the chronology protection idea. Basically, the universe has built-in antivirus software that automatically detects and destroys anything trying to mess with time. It's like reality hired its own IT security team whose only job is preventing temporal computer viruses. The math for time travel makes rocket science look like basic addition on a napkin. We're talking about equations so complicated they make grown physicists cry actual tears and immediately question their life choices. College students see time travel homework and switch majors to accounting because at least tax law follows some kind of twisted logic. Plus, imagine the real-world nightmare. If time travel existed, we'd have tourists from the future everywhere, ruining every important moment in history. The signing of the Declaration of Independence would have people selling hot dogs and taking selfies. Shakespeare would spend more time signing autographs than writing plays. Someone would definitely step on the wrong butterfly and accidentally prevent the invention of pizza, and then humanity would never recover from that tragedy. Time travel isn't just scientifically impossible. It's like giving a tornado a credit card and a shopping list, then expecting your house to be perfectly organized when you get home. But here's where things get absolutely bonkers and flip everything upside down. Plot twist of the millennium. Scientists at the University of Toronto just proved that tiny time travel isn't destroying the universe. It's actually showing us how the universe works. And it's way cooler than any Marvel movie ever imagined. So there's this brilliant scientist named Daniela Angulo, and she spent 2 years in a basement that looks like something out of Star Trek, filled with lasers and atoms colder than your ex's heart after the breakup. She was basically timing how long tiny bits of light spend hanging out inside matter. The result? Negative time, as in less than 0 seconds. These light particles were literally leaving before they arrived, like someone finishing their Netflix episode before they even clicked play. Imagine you're timing people going through the Starbucks drive-thru. Common sense says if someone enters the line at noon, they leave after noon with their overpriced latte, right? Well, these tiny particles are leaving at 11:59 a.m. with their order complete. They're getting their cosmic coffee and driving away before they even pulled up to place their order. It's like the drive-thru exists in its own weird time bubble where occasionally the laws of physics decide to be extra creative. But here's the part that'll absolutely melt your brain. No actual information travels backwards. No paradoxes, no universe-ending disasters, no grandfather paradox nonsense that would make your head spin. These light bits aren't time traveling like in Back to the Future. They're revealing something way more fascinating. The tiniest building blocks of everything work on possibilities, and sometimes those possibilities include time flowing backwards for microscopic moments. Think of it like this. The universe's smallest parts have their own internal clock that occasionally decides to run backwards, but only for the tiniest fractions of interactions. It's not go back and invest in Bitcoin early time travel. It's more like fundamental particles can briefly exist in states where time hiccups backwards while keeping all the important universal rules completely intact. Daniela's team used special atoms. Imagine the tiniest building blocks you could possibly imagine, cooled to almost absolute zero. We're talking colder than Antarctica in a blizzard, colder than the space between galaxies, colder than your boss's stare when you're late on Monday morning. Then they shot perfectly timed laser pulses through these frozen atoms. When the light experienced negative delay, the atoms showed matching negative time. Everything lined up perfectly. This is like watching actual magic happen, except it's real science backed by mathematics. The same weird physics that lets future computers exist in multiple states at the same time. Those impossible negative time measurements are showing us exactly how tiny particles pull off the magic trick of being in multiple places and states all at once. The light particle exists in possibility states where it both enters and exits simultaneously, where time flows forwards and backwards, where cause and effect do this complicated tango without stepping on each other's feet. The universe just casually revealed that it's been running on way weirder and more sophisticated rules than we ever suspected. And instead of breaking reality, these rules are about to give us technology that makes your smartphone look like two tin cans connected with string. Here's where this gets absolutely wild and potentially makes everyone very wealthy. Those impossible negative time measurements are actually the secret ingredient in building the most powerful computers humanity has ever dreamed of. And every tech billionaire on the planet is throwing money at this like it's the last concert tickets to their favorite band. Your current computer is like that friend who can only think in black and white. On or off, yes or no, pizza or salad. They're helpful, but pretty limited in how they process information. Future computers using these tiny time tricks are like having a friend who can think in every color simultaneously. They can be on and off at the exact same time, like having a light switch that's both up and down until you actually look at it. These negative time measurements are showing us exactly how tiny particles pull off this seemingly impossible trick. When a light bit leaves before entering, it's demonstrating this special ability in real time. The particle exists in multiple possibility states simultaneously, including states where time flows in different directions, where past and future swap places temporarily like dance partners. Tech companies are using this understanding to build computer systems that can solve problems your laptop couldn't handle if you gave it 1,000 years and unlimited energy drinks. We're talking about cracking security codes that would take regular computers longer than dinosaurs have been extinct. We're building sensors so incredibly precise they can detect when massive black holes crash into each other in distant galaxies. IBM's computers are already using these principles to do calculations that would make your gaming PC weep with envy. Google built a special chip that can solve certain problems in minutes that would take the world's most powerful computers thousands of years. Microsoft is building systems that use these temporal tricks to create communication networks that are literally impossible for hackers to break into. The time travel everyone thought would end reality is actually the exact mechanism that lets these supercomputers explore every possible answer to a problem simultaneously. It's like having a problem-solving method that can test every solution at once in parallel universes, then magically collapse into the right answer when you check the result. And here's the mind-blowing part. This weird physics is already helping you every single day. That phone in your pocket? It uses tiny time tricks to store your photos, videos, and that embarrassing voice memo you recorded at 2 a.m. GPS satellites need incredibly precise clocks using these same principles to tell you where the nearest taco truck is. The special microscopes that let scientists see individual atoms? Pure application of these time-bending principles. Northwestern University just figured out how to send information through regular internet cables using the same temporal weirdness we're talking about. We're building communication networks that will make today's internet look like sending messages by carrier pigeon. The real-world applications are absolutely staggering. Unbreakable encryption that's physically impossible for hackers to crack. Because any attempt to spy on it changes the system and alerts everyone. Drug discovery computers that could cure diseases by testing every possible molecular combination simultaneously. Weather prediction systems that could accurately forecast hurricanes weeks in advance and save thousands of lives. This isn't some distant future technology. Companies are already going public with this stuff. Venture capitalists are investing like their lives depend on it, and governments are treating this breakthrough like a national security priority because whoever masters this first basically wins the future of technology. So here's the absolutely mind-bending reality that's making scientists lose sleep and investors very excited. Time travel, the thing that was supposed to shatter physics into a million pieces, is actually teaching us how the fundamental building blocks of reality work. And those building blocks aren't destroying the universe. They're showing us that reality is infinitely weirder, more flexible, and more computationally powerful than our wildest science fiction dreams. Those brilliant Toronto scientists didn't discover Hollywood-style time travel where you can go back and awkwardly prevent your parents from meeting. They discovered that time itself operates completely differently at the tiniest scales. Not prevent World War III differently, but fundamental particles follow possibility rules that sometimes include time flowing backwards for microscopic moments differently. It's like discovering the universe has been running incredibly sophisticated software this whole time, and we've just been staring at the screensaver. Every tiny interaction includes these minuscule temporal glitches that cancel each other out in the big picture, but reveal the actual computational architecture hidden in the fabric of reality itself. Think about how absolutely bonkers this discovery is. We spent over a century convinced that time travel would end the universe. Instead, tiny time travel is showing us how to build technologies that could solve climate change, cure cancer, create unhackable internet, and maybe even figure out how human consciousness actually works. The money involved is absolutely staggering and honestly kind of ridiculous. Market experts predict this technology will explode from $4 billion today to nearly $100 billion by 2035. That's not just growth, that's a technological gold rush bigger than the internet boom, the smartphone revolution, and social media combined. IBM is racing to build systems with thousands of special processing units. Google achieved something called supremacy in this field and won't shut up about it. Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, and Intel are all desperately trying to dominate this future like it's the last slice of pizza at a college party. Your next smartphone will probably run apps using these principles that solve problems in seconds that today's phones can't handle in years. Your bank will use encryption based on this technology that's more secure than Fort Knox filled with angry dragons. Your doctor will design personalized medicines using simulations that test every possible treatment simultaneously. Your weather app will use forecasting systems that are scary, accurate weeks in advance. The universe isn't randomly weird for no reason. We just finally built instruments sensitive enough to see that these tiny rules were always way stranger and infinitely more useful than regular physics suggested. Time doesn't flow like a simple river. It flows like possibility waves with ripples, eddies, whirlpools, and occasional backwards currents that reveal reality's true computational potential. Every major tech company is betting their entire future on these impossible behaviors because they unlock capabilities that completely rewrite the rules of what's technologically possible. We're not just discovering fascinating new science. We're discovering that physics itself might be the universe's way of running the most sophisticated computer program imaginable. This negative time discovery isn't just cool science trivia. It's revealing the fundamental mechanisms that will power tomorrow's technology. Computers that solve currently impossible problems. Sensors that detect things we didn't even know existed. Communication networks that are faster, more secure, and more reliable than anything we can build today. So the next time someone tells you that advanced physics is too complicated to understand, just remember this. The same impossible behaviors that make tiny particles seem to travel time are the exact mechanisms we're using to build humanity's most powerful technologies. We're literally harnessing the weirdness of reality to solve real-world problems. Reality isn't broken, it's just way more interesting than we ever imagined. And this interesting reality is so much more useful and profitable than any time travel movie ever dreamed of. We're not trying to change the past. We're building a future where the impossible becomes as normal as checking your email. What do you think? Is this tiny, time travel weirdness the key to humanity's most amazing technological leap? Or just the universe showing off its weird sense of humor? Let me know in the comments what blew your mind the most. And if you enjoyed having your brain melted by real science that's stranger than fiction, definitely hit that subscribe button. Because trust me, we have so many more weirdly brilliant and mind-bending surprises in store just for you.